Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and oh man, do I have a wild story for you today that's going to take us deep into the vaults of mystery, conspiracy, and hopefully some shiny gold bars. We're talking about Fort Knox, folks, the legendary gold depository in Kentucky that's got everybody buzzing right now, from President Donald Trump to Elon Musk to, well, me. And you. Imagine this. Trump's gearing up to storm Fort Knox himself to check if the gold's still there, and the whole world's watching, wondering, did somebody steal it? Are the cupboards bare? I've got all the latest on this crazy saga, and we're going to unpack it step by step. So grab a snack, settle in, because we're diving in. Let's get started. First off, thank you so much for watching. I seriously appreciate every single one of you joining me on this ride. Now, before we jump into Trump's big Fort Knox adventure, let's rewind a bit and set the stage, because this whole thing kicked off with a spark from none other than Elon Musk. Just a few days ago, February 17th, 2025 to be exact, Elon dropped a tweet that lit the internet on fire. He said, "Who is confirming that gold wasn't stolen from Fort Knox? Maybe it's there, maybe it's not. That gold is owned by the American public. We want to know if it's still there." Boom. Classic Elon stirring the pot like he's cooking up a conspiracy stew. And you know what? People ate it up. Because let's be real, Fort Knox has been a mystery magnet for decades, shrouded in secrecy, armed guards, and whispers of, what if? Then enters Senator Mike Lee from Utah, tossing more fuel on the fire. He replied to Elon's tweet with a jaw-dropper. "As a U.S. Senator, I've tried repeatedly to get into Fort Knox. Fort Knox. He can't come to Fort Knox. Me. Why? Fort Knox. It's a military installation. Me. I'm a senator. I go to military bases all the time. Fort Knox. You still can't come because you can't? What? A senator can't even get in? That's wild. It's like Fort Knox is some secret clubhouse with a no senators allowed sign on the door." This exchange got everyone talking. Why is it so hard to peek inside? Is there something they don't want us to see? The vibes were already sketchy, and we're just getting started. Now let's fast forward to Wednesday night, February 19, 2025. Trump's on Air Force One, chatting with reporters, and he drops this bombshell. But one of the things we do want to look, we hope everything's fine with Fort Knox, but we're going to go to Fort Knox, the fabled Fort Knox, to make sure the gold is there. If the gold isn't there, we're going to be very upset. Oh, did you catch that? We're going to be very upset. That's Trump laying down the gauntlet, saying he's not messing around. And then just a day later, on Thursday, February 20, he doubles down at a Republican Governors Association meeting, and listen to this. "Man, I'm going to do something. I'm actually going on this one. You know, all my life I've heard about Fort Knox. It's where the gold is kept, right? I heard Fort Knox. Oh, but, we're getting a little bit shaky. We're getting the yips on this stuff. Like, I want to find out. So we're going to open up the doors. I'm going to see if we have gold there. We want to find out, did anybody steal the gold in Fort Knox? It's a pretty amazing place, but I'm going to actually go. We're going to open the doors. We're going to inspect Fort. We want to make sure that we actually have, 400 tons of gold or whatever the hell it is. It's a lot of gold. I don't want to open it and the cupboards are bare. Could happen." Holy smokes, folks. It's confirmed. Trump's not just sending someone else. He's rolling up to Fort Knox himself to crack open those vaults and see what's what. This is huge. February 22, 2025. And we've got the President of the United States ready to bust into one of the most secure spots on the planet because he's got the yips. That's golf lingo for nerves, by the way. And he's not alone. Elon's out there tweeting memes like that South Park and Nindit's Gone clip captioned "Looking for the gold at Fort Knox." It's like the whole crew's on edge. And honestly, I get it. Fort Knox holds about 147.3 million ounces of gold. That's over 4,000 metric tons. Worth something like $425 billion at today's prices, according to the U.S. Mint's latest figures. That's more than half the Treasury's gold stash, 56.35% of it to be exact, and it's been sitting there since 1937, locked up tighter than a bank vault in a heist movie. So, Yeah, if it's gone, or even a chunk of it's gone, we're all going to be upset. But wait, before we get too hyped, let's talk about the other side of this coin. Enter Scott Bessent, the current Treasury Secretary, who's trying to throw some cold water on this fire. Just a few days ago, he went on Bloomberg and said, Elon Musk, who's leading Doge, was talking about maybe going to Fort Knox to make sure those gold reserves are there. That comes under your purview. Do you have any plans to visit? Bessent's response, I don't have any plans. I can tell you that we do an audit every year. I can tell the American people on camera right now that there was a report September 3rd, 2024. All the gold is there. Any U.S. senator who wants to come and visit it can arrange a visit through our office. Okay, so Bessent's out here saying, chill folks, it's all good, we check it every year. But here's the thing, he didn't sound super confident to me, stammering a bit, and it's only after Senator Mike Lee complained about being locked out that Bessent's like, oh yeah, sure, come on down. Sketchy? Much? So I dug into this so-called audit Bessent's touting. The Department of the Treasury, United States Mint, schedules of custodial deep storage gold and silver reserves as of September 30th, 2024 and 2023. Sounds official, right? I thought, great. This'll be a big detailed report, tons of numbers, signatures, maybe photos of sealed vaults. Nope, it's a measly 20 pages and half of them are blank. When I got to the meat of it, the section about the reserves, I expected a breakdown. How much gold, how much silver, where it's at, maybe some fancy seal signatures proving it's legit. You ready for what I found? Here it is, word for word. Department of the Treasury, United States Mint schedules of custodial deep storage gold and silver reserves as of September 30th, 2024 and 2023 in thousands. Then it's just some numbers. Nothing added, nothing taken, end of story. That's it. No details, no proof. Just a table and some legal mumbo-jumbo about the reporting entity and basis of presentation. I could whip this up in 2 minutes on my laptop. It's not convincing at all. When I asked you guys a couple days ago, is all the gold in Fort Knox real and accounted for, 85% of you said no way, and I'm with you, fam. This audit ain't cutting it. Now, let's circle back to Trump's big move. He's not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk. Headed to Fort Knox to inspect the gold himself. As of this morning, February 22, 2025, news outlets like CBS, The Economic Times, and the Daily Mail are reporting that Trump's giving the green light for this inspection, with some saying Elon Musk might tag along, though it's still unclear if it's Trump, Elon, or someone from DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, leading the charge. Either way, it's happening, and it's got the world on edge. Trump's out here saying, I don't want to open it and the cupboards are bare. Could happen. And that's the million-dollar question. What if they swing those vault doors open and it's empty? Panic, chaos, markets crashing. Imagine the headlines. Fort Knox gold gone. America's $425 billion secret stolen. It'd be the heist of the century, and we'd all be losing our minds. But here's where my brain starts spinning. What if they don't want us to see an empty vault? Fort Knox isn't the only spot the U.S. stashes its gold. They've got deep storage in Denver, Colorado, about 43.8 million ounces according to the Mint, and West Point, New York, with another 54 million ounces or so. Together, that's over 100 million ounces outside Fort Knox. Plenty to shuffle around, right? Picture this, they quietly truck some gold from Denver and West Point to Fort Knox, beef up those vaults just in time for Trump's big inspection, flash some shiny bars and say, see, all good. Then, once the cameras are off, they ship it back like a magic trick to fool us all. That's my theory, and it's not so crazy logistics-wise they could pull it off if they're sneaky enough. To really know the truth, they'd need to audit all three spots, Fort Knox, Denver, and West Point, at the same time. No warning, no chance to shuffle the deck. And here's the kicker. They can't just walk in and eyeball it. Gold bars aren't like apples in a basket. You can't glance and say, yep, looks good. What if those bars are fake? Tungsten coated in gold, a trick that's been whispered about in conspiracy circles for years. They'd need to test it, melt some down with a fire assay to check purity, or use something high-tech like the Sigma Metalytics Precious Metals Verifier Pro, with that bridge attachment that can scan through thick bars to confirm it's real gold, not some knockoff. Without legit testing, it's all smoke and mirrors. They could show us a vault full of bars and we'd still be in the dark about whether it's the real deal or fool's gold. Now, let's talk about the latest as of today, February 22, 2025. Reports are flying. Fortune says Trump's pushing this because of Musk's doubts and the Treasury's scrambling to respond. Yesterday, February 21, the Louisville Herald-Leader ran a piece saying, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul's been on this train too, backing Musk's call for an inspection, and sticking to his story. All the gold's there, audited September 30, 2024, but today, CNN's got a new twist. Sources say Trump's team is planning this visit for next week, maybe as early as February 25, 2025, with Musk possibly in tow alongside some DOJ officials. They're framing it as a transparency move. Trump told reporters this morning, "The American people deserve to know. We're opening the doors," but X is buzzing with skeptics. Posts like, "They'll just stage it," and "Gold's been gone since the 70s" are trending, and the vibe's electric with suspicion. Here's where it gets even crazier. What if the gold's there, but it's not ours? Think about this. Back in 2013, Germany asked for some of its gold back from the US, about 300 tons stored here, and it took years to get just a fraction, with excuses like logistical issues. Some folks, like gold expert Jim Rickards, say a chunk of Fort Knox's gold might be pledged or loaned out to foreign governments or banks, part of shady deals we don't hear about. So even if Trump walks in and sees stacks of bars, who's to say it's our 147.3 million ounces and not Germany's, France's, or some hedge funds? That's why I'm with you guys. 85% of us don't trust this, and we need more than a photo op. We need a full-on, no BS audit. Test every bar, check every record, and make sure it's America's gold, not someone else's IOU. So, what's next? If Trump's hitting Fort Knox next week, say February 25 or 26, 2025, we're on the cusp of history. Will he find gleaming stacks of gold? Or will it be Elon's "and it's gone" moment? If it's empty or fake or pledged, the fallout's going to be insane. Markets tanking, dollar wobbling, people rioting in the streets demanding answers. My gut says they'll stage it, move some gold in, flash it for the cameras, then shuffle it back out, but I hope I'm wrong. I want the truth as much as you do. I'll keep tracking this, every tweet, every news drop, and if anything big breaks, you'll hear it from me first. What do you think? Is the gold there, stolen, faked? Drop your theories in the comments.